Hello everyone. Today we are going to see Docker networking, and in that how we access the container using Docker networking. So when we install Docker, it's create a three networks automatically. The first network we called as a bridge, the second network we called as a host, and the last network which automatically created is called as a none. So bridge play a very important role for whole networking system in Docker container, whereas the host is only have the importance for the Docker host machine, so it's not have more responsibility doing the networking with containers. And none is a network we can use in case we do not have to allow any container to use network, so we can use the none network so that container will not able to communicate with any other devices. Let's say example how we can provide the specific network. By default, when we start the container, it uses a bridge network. All right. But we have an option to change that. Let's say example, I want to assign the none network to any container. So we'll use the option flag hyphen hyphen network equals to none. So that container will not get a network. All right. And here we can see that Docker 0 is a bridge. So this bridge is, in our case, is Docker 0. By default, the bridge name is Docker 0 in Docker container. All right. So let's say example, what will be the complete command if you want to assign the any none network to some particular device or some particular container. So Docker run hyphen IT. So we are running in detached mode. So hyphen D hyphen hyphen network equals to none, and after that name of that container, so here our name is node 6 and the image name bin bash. So we successfully logged in, but here you can see that we are not able to connect with Ubuntu because network is disconnected because we have assigned in none mode. So here this container will not able to communicate with any of the site or any of the host machine or any of the container systems. All right. So let's see more about bridge. So to list down all the networks, so we'll give the command docker network list. So here we can see that three networks are available for us. So now we want to check how basically this communication happens. All right. So if we give command if config on the Docker host, so we'll get all types of connections over here. So we can check that what are the different interfaces are here. So the first one is the Docker 0, which is a bridge, and it's have the default IP 172.17.0.1. All right. So this is the bridge IP, and it uses the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, whereas we have other interfaces which is present below to that. So this interfaces ENP03 and ENP08 are my virtual NIC on the Docker host, and apart from that we have few more NICs here. LO is a virtual one, so by default most of the systems by default will have the LO. So that LO is loopback, that so we'll not concentrate on that. But here the important thing one is this NIC. All right, this is a virtually got created automatically. So we'll learn more about that, how it's got created and what is this. And this one is VR bridge 0. So we have two bridges. One is Docker 0 and VRB 0. So how we'll check that? So we'll say brctl show command. So it will show us the bridges. So here you can see that only we have these two bridges. Rest of are not bridge. So basically what is bridge, that we are going to discuss more in this session. But here we can see that this interface is attached to this bridge. So if you look at this one, VETHACH4FC47. So this interface is attached to this. and this is a interface for the container system. So basically this interface is going to attach to the container system, so they will get the networking. All right, so let's see that whether we have any running container. Of course one will have, because one here interface is up. So we'll say docker ps. So here we can say that Ubuntu is running. Let's get the access of Ubuntu. So we'll say docker exec -it and the name of the machine. So here we have the name to is node 1, and we need a shell of that. So bin/bash. So we got an access, and if we type if config, so we can see that we have the ETS0. Now this interface and this interface are naming are different, but they are attached. So now completely how it's look like, that we are going to see. We'll come out from this and we'll say IPRL. So for Docker 0, the IP is this. All right. Now this is connected where? So that we have to find out. So basically, if we take this one, so it will connect it to the main network. This is the network of 192.168.56. This one 101. So we know that Docker 0 connected with one of the interface of our system. Now let's rerun brctl show command. So it will show us number of bridges, and we also see that some container is running and it's have one interface. All right, so now this whole networking look like. So for that we'll take the help of MS-Paint to understand this. So first we'll draw this, and this is our Docker 0 bridge. Docker 0 bridge, and so here if you look at, we got an IP 172 dot so this IP 0.1. all right, now this IP will communicate with our virtual NIC because we are operating on the Oracle VirtualBox, so we got an virtual NIC. So this will get connected with the virtual NIC, and that NIC is, we need to give the name. So here ENP0S3. all right, and it's have the IP 192.168.56.103. all right, and here we have the IP table and NAT to communicate between these two. So by default, Linux host machine use IP tables and NAT. So these two automatically get connected. Now, interesting things start here. So when we connect, when we create a one container, let's say example node 1. So this is node 1. Let's create here one interface. So by default, when we create a container, it will attach one interface to us. So let's say example ENP0S3 here also. So this ENP0S3 is attached for the container node 1, and this is a interface which container is going to use to communicate. But at the same time, when we create a container, it's added one virtual interface on that bridge, and that start with VETH. So similar like this. So just I will open it and will give the command if config. So this name VETH, ACH, so forth and so on. So something like this will get name here, and these two get connected. Let's say example you spawn one more container. So similarly, same way node 2, let's example. All right, so it also get one interface attached. So here it will be again ENP0S3, and similarly for this interface also on the bridge, it will create a virtual interface with the name same here, VETH, ACH, so forth and so on, and these two get connected. So this is how the whole networking works. So when you keep creating number of container, it will keep creating virtual NICs, and container itself create one virtual NICs, and these two NICs by default get connected. When it get by default connected, when you use the Docker 0, if you use network equals to none, so this Docker bridge is not will come into the picture and will not able to access it. All right. So now let's go on our box. So we'll go on the box here. All right. Now, how we'll verify whether our networking is connected? So we'll first verify this all here. Now we have only one virtual NIC. Now let's create one more container, Docker images. So we hit the command Docker images. Let's create one more container. So Docker run -it -d, and we'll create one more. Let's say example --name equals to node 2, and the image name is this one, CentOS :latest. All right. So now it says already their name, so not an issue. Let's change it to 5. It's got created and running. So we'll say Docker PS. Now we'll check output if config. So we'll see here now we got one more interface, so which we discussed. So initially we got one, now we got another one. All right, and this another one is for the node 2. All right, so in this way this whole networking take place. So we have to just keep spawning the number of container. It will keep creating number of virtual NIC for us, and it will attach the container interface to our bridge interface. All right. Now, important thing is if someone want to create a container without a network. So as we discussed here, we can add -network equals to none. And once we give this, and after that, I will just make it another name. See, now it's created, and we'll say if config. Now, if we check this, we have 2 only. It's not added one more because we have not added that container with any bridge. So that's the reason for this machine there is no networking, because bridge has been disconnected or bridge is not assigned to this container. All right. So in this way we see that how the whole traffic flow. So every traffic come to the bridge, and from bridge it will go outside by using the virtual NIC ENP0S3 in our case. All right. Thank you for watching it.